All right, let's talk about leadership. But we're not going to talk about it as some, mysterious born with it kind of thing. Nope. Today we're going to deconstruct it. We're going to break it down into an actual blueprint so you can see the building blocks that create a leader who makes a real, lasting impact.
So let's just dive right into the heart of it, shall we? What is the difference between a good manager and a true leader? I mean, we hear those words thrown around all the time, sometimes like they're the same thing. But the difference is huge, and it's not just about personality, it's about the very structure they build.
And that's the key right there. It's not about a to-do list versus a big vision. It's about the entire structure a leader creates, a whole system that supports their team, their goals, and ultimately, their results. So for the next few minutes, let's think like architects.
And here are our architectural plans for this explainer. We're going to start with the foundation, the core characteristics. Then we'll put up the framework, which is all about connecting with charisma. After that, we install the compass to give it all a direction. And finally, we'll get to the payoff, seeing how it all comes together to fulfill needs and deliver results.
First up, the foundation. These are the absolute 100% non-negotiables. Seriously, think of this like the concrete slab and steel rebar for a skyscraper. If you don't get this part right, anything you try to build on top of it is just gonna crumble.
Now, what's really fascinating here is that these aren't just passive personality traits, they're actions. It all starts with proactively adopting a forward-thinking mindset. That then empowers you to make quick, smart decisions. And once you've made those decisions, you can engage your team for real impact. And guess what the outcome of all that is? You deliver results. See how they just build on each other, creating momentum? It's a chain reaction.
Okay, so the foundation is poured. Now it's time to put up the framework. And this is all about charisma. But hold on, not in the way you might think. We're not talking about some magical quality you're born with. We're talking about a learnable, practical framework for how you show up, connect with people, and build real relationships.
And the very first piece of this framework is probably the most important and, honestly, the most overlooked, just being present. And presence isn't some mystical aura. It's a bunch of small, deliberate actions. It's listening. I mean, really listening. It's staying focused, asking good questions, noticing body language, and yeah, even just remembering someone's name. These aren't minor details. They're the bedrock of connection.
So this whole charisma framework is held together by two critical, almost opposing forces, power and warmth. Power is that confidence, that authority you project. Warmth is your empathy, your approachability. So many people think you have to pick one or the other. But a great leader, they don't choose. They master the art of balancing both, knowing when to lean into one and when to lean into the other.
And this is where that warmth becomes a total superpower. It's all about adapting your approach to the actual human beings you're leading. You just can't lead an introvert the same way you lead an extrovert. As you can see, one needs time and space to think things through, while the other gets energized by batting ideas around in a group. A leader who gets this doesn't just treat everyone the same, they create the specific conditions each person needs to do their best work.
Okay, so we've got our foundation and our framework. The structure is sound. But where's it going? Now we need a direction. That's the compass. This is all about giving the team and the entire organization a clear and powerful why that guides every single thing they do.
So what's a leader's actual job here? Well, they have to become an alignment machine. It's a three-step process. First, you set a clear purpose for every single person. Second, you make sure that personal purpose is locked into the core company values, the stuff that never changes. And third, you have to constantly connect all the daily work back to the big picture goals. Your job is to make sure every gear in the machine is turning in the same direction.
And ultimately, all of that purpose, all of that alignment, it gets distilled down to one simple, incredibly powerful idea. It's not try to make an impact, or let's hope we have an impact. It's a command, a mindset. Be impact. That becomes the North Star for absolutely everyone.
And this brings us to our final building block, the payoff. We've built this amazing structure. It's got a solid foundation, a strong framework, and a clear direction. But a building is just an empty shell without people. This is where the leader brings the whole thing to life by serving their team, which in turn delivers incredible results.
So, what do people inside this structure actually need from a leader? This chart breaks it down perfectly. People have a deep need for belonging and significance. They want to feel like part of a tribe, and they want to know their work actually matters. Of course, they also need tangible rewards. And they need buzz, that feeling of excitement and challenge. A typical manager might just focus on the rewards part. A true leader knows their job is to fill this entire circle of needs.
And this really brings us full circle, right back to that first question we asked. A great manager is absolutely crucial, and they excel at delivering results, getting it done. But a leader's job is bigger. They're the ones who inspire people, who set the values, who shape the culture in which those results happen. You know, a manager makes sure the train runs on time. The leader designed the railway and convinced everyone it was a journey worth taking.
So there you have it, the whole blueprint. A complete leader is so much more than a boss. They are an architect and a community builder. They build the structure, they point it in the right direction, and then they fill it with people who feel fulfilled and empowered, because their fundamental needs are actually being met.
And that leaves us with one final, and maybe most important question. And this one is for you. As you look at this blueprint, as you think about your own career, which one of these building blocks is your #1 priority to work on next? Is it the foundation, the framework, the compass, or the payoff? The next move is yours.